What's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new short movie. The name of the short movie is What If Naruto Was Raised in Uzushiogakure. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted movie and shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to my boy Jimmy Desitais for suggesting me this idea. Now before continuing this, two things. One, Spidey, I'm sorry for not making your idea today. I am going to make it into a movie, but the thing is that I just don't remember what happened in Percy Jackson. It has been a long time since I did a Naruto x Percy Jackson crossover. I'm going to read a few of the fictions again just to, get familiar again with the, environment and all that. After doing so, I will be able to create your idea. And we will have an awesome movie, I believe. Anyways, moving onwards. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for yesterday's video support. Even though it was a 4-minute long monologue and all that, everything I said came directly from my heart. And I know it might sound corny as hell, but yeah, it is the truth. And I'm really grateful for y'all support and love. I love you guys, man. Seriously. You don't know how much down I was there in the dumps when you guys came in with your support, and it has lifted up my morale and spirits. I will be able to continue up and hopefully we'll be able to get back where we were, at least, I guess. That is what I'm trying to say here, actually. Anyways, enough said with this mushy stuff and jibber jabber. Before continuing this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Roll the intro. The story begins in a graveyard where we see a few of coffins laying, and in front of them huge amount of shinobis from Konoha alongside, with civilians gathered wearing traditional robes for the occasion, as they were paying respects to the fallen shinobi in the 2 days prior attack, the Kyuubi attack that occurred on October 10th in nighttime. It was supposed to be a peaceful night, but everything went down the drain when Kyuubi attack happened, and Kyuubi was released on them out of nowhere. The shinobis were quick to respond, and many of their men fought valiantly, trying to stop the Biju. Even the third Hokage appeared there, taking the charge, but in the end, him and his forces couldn't do anything. The Biju was just too much stronger, and was pushing them back and back, closer to the village. And that is when their Kage appeared in an injured state, with a child in his hand, and so did his wife. While Minato began to do the hand seals to seal the Biju away in his unborn child, the Kyuubi was able to push the huge toad bag that the Kage brought with him, threw away the shinobi forces, killing Hiruzen, and pierced the child and the woman. As for Minato, he was able to take down the Kyuubi with him, as the Shinigami took the Kyuubi alongside Minato's soul as payment. And that is how the whole family died, alongside many of the shinobis and the Kages. But surprising thing was, a single Bijudama was fired, and coincidentally it landed on the Hokage monument in which the elders were standing at, and they too perished that day. As now we go towards Shikaku Nara, the newly instated Kage of the said village, and the one who was in charge, as the rest of the clans were there. As he said his final word, "Today we are here to bid farewell to our comrade and our Kages. If you have anything to say, then say it now, or else we will begin with the process." Nobody said anything, and they were lifted down to the ground and were buried there. Everyone paid their respect and began to leave. As now we see, far away from the outer skirts of Konoha, on top of a hill under a tree shade, a woman was standing there. As now we see, behind her a man appeared with silver hair, wearing a mask. "You think it was appropriate, Kushina-sama? It was needed to be done, Kakashi. Even though he was your sensei, it has to be done this way. Is everything going to work out the way you think it will? It has to. Now, Kakashi, I might ask you again, what are you going to do? Remain here, or going to come with me? Sensei's last order was to protect Naruto, so it is obviously that I'm coming with you. This village has gone down the drain since the second Great Shinobi War, and I have seen Sensei change drastically after that. He was not the same man as I thought he was in the beginning. Yes, he was too good actually in playing the good husband and a good Kage. said Kushina coldly. Where is Naruto actually? Naruto is with Tsunade at the moment. She is waiting near the border of the Land of Fire, keeping him hidden from Jiraiya and his spies. Because Jiraiya, he might be onto something. What? Do you think he might have found out? No. I took care of him. Even if he did found out, it is already too late. Konoha is about to discover a body of another Sanin, mangled, in a few days. If the stench just doesn't arrive early on, then we have to move. But what about the... Don't worry, Kakashi. I'm not that sloppy. You've forgotten, I was supposed to be the second strongest Kunoichi in the whole village. Was it not? Yes. As now we see, Kushina then turned as she glared back at Konoha. Sayonara, Konoha. May you die in hell and burn and rot in hell as well, Minato. Hiruzen. As now we see, she had a sneer on her face as she began to walk away, Kakashi following her suit. As Kakashi was walking behind her silently as both of them moved, we see that he was having a flashback of how he found out his sensei was not who he thought he was. As a few months back, before the Kyuubi attack happened, we see Kakashi arrived back from a mission. It has been hard for him after the death of, his teammates. He has joined the Anbu forces and moved up the ranks. And not only that, he has been given dangerous missions because he was requesting them. He was about to come in and report. As he was about to knock, he heard a voice. It was his sensei talking to the elders and Hiruzen, as they were talking about him. Well, I gotta say, Minato, Kakashi is one of your best projects. Who knew that you will be able to turn that boy into a literal killing machine? Well, it was bound to happen. After all, he is a Hatake. Well, it was a good choice to turn his father into a traitor and make sure that he seemed like he's committed suicide to break his mind. And that is when I came in, did I not? Playing my part, playing him like a fiddle. What a bunch of idiots they were. Playing with people with such emotions is so easy, is it not, Danzo-sama? Yes, it is, Minato. As Kakashi was shocked, his sensei... What was the Kage talking about his father? He couldn't understand. He needed to listen into this. Yes, and not only that, that person turned out to be much more better of a shinobi and a killing machine, a ruthless one who listens only to you, Minato, because of your acting skills, said Koharu. Yes, but it was at the sacrifice and expense of my other two students. I mean, those two were not great, but they had to go. They were holding Kakashi back. Yes, they had to. If it wasn't for me, said Danzo, you would have raised them as well. They could have helped Kakashi out, or at least me. But I guess you were right, Danzo-sama. They needed to go. What? Did they plan this? Thought Kakashi to himself. Did they plan the death of Rin and Obito? Oh my god. Now, moving on, said Koharu. As Kakashi was about to barge in, he heard more. What about Kushina and your unborn child? Who knew that playing her would be much more fun and easier than playing those kids? Kushina. She's going to give birth to a fine Uzumaki bunch. And after we're done with her, we're gonna get rid of her in an accident. And make sure I take care of my kids, who will only listen to their good old daddy. As everyone began to chuckle, even Danzo did a smirk. Kakashi's blood was boiling at that moment. As now we see, Kakashi felt a hand on his shoulder grip. As he looked behind to see a person standing there, which caused his eyes to go wide and almost his soul left his body. It was Kushina Uzumaki who was standing there. So he figured out, Kakashi. Come with me. As after that we see both of them inside Kakashi's house. Oh my god. So it is all true then. How long have you known Kushina-sama? I have known long enough. I knew at least about my child and me, of what they were going to do. But you and the others? I cannot accept this. I did not knew that he was a scum of this level, at least. What are we gonna do? We have to get out of here. Don't worry. I know just a person who might help us. I'll come back here in 2 days' time, Kakashi. Take a few days off. Tell them you're getting tired. And after that, we'll discuss with that person. Is that person even trustable? Yes, the only person I might trust in this dump. As after that, Kushina left with bitterly as Kakashi arrived back at Hokage office. Ah, Kakashi, you're back. How was the mission? You know I'm getting worried about your health and all that. Doing these dangerous missions, Kakashi. You know what, Sensei? I guess you're kind of right. As Minato was shocked. What? What do you mean? Well, you are worried about me, and I do think that it has taken a toll on my body, Sensei. Ah, yes, it does, doesn't it? But you're a strong boy. I'm sure you can pull through it. Yes, Sensei, but I need some rest, I guess. You're right. I'm gonna take a few weeks off. I hope that is not... Yes, totally fine, Kakashi. You can take as much as long as you want. But let me know, okay? If you need anything. I'm always here for you. Yeah, Sensei. I'll let you know. As after that we see, Kakashi left. As soon as he did, Minato went back to his desk and slammed his pen down. Motherfucker. He thinks he can laze around after I made him who he is? Fine. I guess a tool does need a rest and resharpness after continuous use, or otherwise it might get dull. Oh well. He has done a lot. I'm sure the other shinobis won't mind having a few more works at their tables. As now we see, a few days later, Kakashi was at home. His mind was in a turmoil. His father, the death of his friends, all of these, his sensei and the others, did they plan it? Did they plan it from the beginning? He was having self-doubts. Or was it just his mind playing games on him? He couldn't make anything up, but he couldn't deny what he has heard with his own ears. And not only that, Kushina explained to him what has been happening with her and what the future plans were. Because she has been in the same turmoil after finding out about this. And today he was waiting patiently for another person to arrive. And as he was waiting, there was a door knock. As Kakashi went and opened to find that it was Kushina and Tsunade standing there. Tsunade-sama? But how? I never left the village completely. I mean, in the eyes of my sensei I did, but a senju never leaves his home, does he? I guess. As now we see the three of them sitting there. So, I know everything, Kakashi. You don't need to worry about anything. I can keep it a secret. I have known Sensei's plans since he stopped helping out the Uzumakis. It was actually Jiraiya and Orochimaru who, devised this whole plan that Uzumakis were a liability to them now since they have gotten the Fuinjutsu masters, and not only them, they had the Fuin seals on the walls. So they thought that they were nothing more than a burden to them now, and were leeching off of them, when in reality it was the Konoha who was leeching off of Uzushio. So they cut them off by giving their secrets to the other villages, giving them away and their location. And not only that, not sending any help, saying that they were in a distress call multiple times, and they just ignored it. Oh my god. So that is when I decided I have to leave. I have seen enough death. And Sensei made sure that Namaki or I wouldn't become a thorn in his path, so he made sure that Namaki died. I was even aware of that. You didn't do anything? Of course I want to strangle that old goat's head. And that is what I'm going to do. What do you mean you're going to do? If you do that, there might be thousands of shinobi on you. I know. We need a distraction. And I have just a plan, said Kushina. What plan? As after that we see Kakashi remembering the night of the Kyuubi attack. As a few days before, Kushina was having a meeting with a masked person where Kakashi went. As he appeared there, Kushina Uzumaki, in the flesh, Madara Uchiha. After hearing this name, Kakashi was shocked and was on defensive position. You don't have to be on guard, Hatake. But then again, who knows what I might do. What do you want from me? You know I can just take you out like this, right? You're pregnant. And not only that, in a few days you might go in labor, or so we can speak as of now. True, but I have something for you that you cannot deny, and you will leave me alone after that. And my son. What? We're gonna release the Biju. I have injected myself with Hashirama cells. I will be able to survive the extraction. Oh, interesting. You can wreak havoc in Konoha and take the Biju if you want. But you are on your own. Neither my son and I will never be involved. So you're just going to hand out the Biju to me. Why should I trust you? Trust me, don't trust me. I will release the Biju on October 10th, right after my son is born. I will be vegan at the time. Not like I can do anything to you, even if I lie. The rest is up to you to decide what you do with the Biju, since I know you're after it. That is true, I was after it. But I would like to know how you were able to find out about this. Through your Venus flytrap friend, the weird one, the half white, half black one, Zetsu? Why would he tell you this? Well, he came to me to kill me actually. I grabbed his hand and Kakashi interrogated him with the truth seal. So I offered him something that he couldn't deny. So that is why he called me here. Yes, I told him I will only do so if I'm allowed to have a meet with his master, Madara. I see. Fine then, Kushina Uzumaki, you have my word. Your son and you are free after you give me the Biju. When will be the signal? You will know. You will know. This is the coordinates. Be there at 7 p.m. sharp. 7? I have the best Konoichi here and the best medic in the whole world. So I know how much time is left. I see. Thank you for your help, Kushina. Oh, but before you take the Biju away, why don't you go and entertain my husband for a while and make sure that fucking bastard is injured to the point that he has limited chakra so that he cannot survive the chakra extraction seal, Hakai Fuyin. Quite the devious one, aren't you, Kushina? Trying to kill her own husband. That fucker is nothing more than a bastard who needs to be put into ground for what he has done to my clan. It was a mistake. That is what it was. Oh, fine. Not like I'm going to involve myself into any of your family drama. That is, I'm going to leave it up to you. Although I will play with the Kage in Yellow Flash just to see what he truly is. Is he all talk, or all that talk about him is just a waste? Trust me, it is a waste of air. Anyways, deal is a deal, and we're done with it, right? Yes, you have my word. I will never go after your son and you. I will free the Biju and you leave us alone. You take the Biju and do whatever you want. The rest is up to you. If you lose it, then it is up on you. Yes, you all have to do is just release the Biju. Oh, by the way, I will be acting at the time, so I get it, I know. Thank you, Kushina Uzumaki. As now we see the man disappear. Hatake, with these words said. As now we see only Kushina and Kakashi left there. That man, he has the same eye as me. And the only person that had Obito, I know it's him. How can you? I am a sensory ninja, Kakashi. I can sense who the other person is. I sensed Obito. It was him. So he's alive. Yes, and corrupted and broken, thanks to my husband and your sensei. That fucker needs to pay. He does not deserve to be called even that word. And all that bullshit and crap that he has talked us through and told us. For what? To make you dependent on him. To make him look like a good guy, Kakashi. That is what he played at. And that is what we found attraction in him with. I hate myself now. My father. He worked so hard for this village. He was ready to lay down his life for them. And yet, they devised a plan to kill him. I know, Kakashi, it hurts. But it is done in the past. And you will get your revenge, I promise. As after that we see, as they were nearing the Land of Fire's border, and Tsunade came into sight, Kakashi went back into another thought and flashback, where the attack was happening, and he made sure that the Bijudama that was pointed towards the village hit the Hokage monument where the other Kages was, and he made sure the torch landed right on top of Hiruzen-sama. accidentally fell and pushed Hiruzen right under him as he was crushed to death, like a paste. And as for Minato, he was injured and half of his chakra was depleted, causing his death because of chakra exhaustion, not because of Hakai Fuin. The Hakai Fuin only takes a fraction of life, but being at the verge of death and chakra exhaustion, your soul is the one that is taken as punishment. And that is what happened with Minato, since he was not aware of that fact. And as for the QB, since he wanted the QB to be sealed inside Naruto, which was not present there actually, the QB was taken in by Shinigami, because the seal was applied and had to be taken and made. And that is how they even got rid of Obito off their back and Minato and Konoha in general. Kushina made sure the real one that survived, standing on the other side, panting heavily, did a hand seal before she passed out, which made sure that all of the Uzumaki seals that were active there were completely turned off forever and shut down. All of Minato's belongings and Kushina's belongings were taken that day, as well as their house was lit on fire and destroyed, like some of the houses in the district. And it just turned out that it was because of QB as well. Everything was perfect, and now all they had to do was escape. As now we see Kushina bringing Kakashi out of the thinking process. Kakashi came back from the flashback. What is it, Kushina-sama? We're already at the border, Kakashi. We need to get out of here. You said you knew the secret pathway that the Anbu uses. As they begin to move from that way. As now we see the three of them arrive at the boat. They took the boat, and it took them only a few hours to get to the shores of the ruined Uzushiogakure. They took a tunnel that Kushina was familiar with, and so was Tsunade, since both of them were the part of Uzumaki clan, and they arrived at the ruins of the Uzushiogakure. This is perfect. This is where we will live. But it's all ruins here. Looks can be quite deceiving. You see, the Uzushiogakure was never actually built on this surface. What? What do you mean? The real Uzushiogakure is somewhere deep beneath the water. What? What do you mean? Come with me, said Kushina. As now we see, they arrive at the center hall where there were a lot of ruins. As they saw that the floor was still intact and they had engravings of Uzumakis in it. As Kushina cut at her fingertip and dropped a few drops of blood down there and wrote something with it. As the whole ground began to glow until a staircase appeared which goes down, and there was a door there. Well, let's move now. As now we see all of them moving there. As the door opened, it was an elevator. What is this? An elevator shaft that will take us down where we need to go. As now we see, all of them went down, and soon it all became transparent. They were in deep water. Going on for 20 minutes or so, they arrived where they needed to be, in the real Uzushiogakure, covered in a huge glass seal, taking artificial oxygen, and many of the Uzumaki still being alive there. The living, breathing city of Uzumakis that was still alive and underground. And that is when we see Arashi Uzumaki, the current leader of the Uzushiogakure, arrived at them. Kushina, you're back. It's been a long time, Tojan. How did you know about this place? Remember, you once made sure that I was aware of this and made sure that I visited this place, the true safe haven of Uzumakis, the Uzumaki true island, the Uzushiogakure, the underground one. Oh, I've forgotten about that. And what do we have here? Tsunade sent you. Your ancestors were a great ally of ours, but after our ancestor Mito has fallen, it seems your village and they have changed. My ancestors and my clan are dead at the hands of Konoha themselves. The very village they created has killed them, betrayed them. It's a sad loss. Konoha has betrayed us again, father. My husband, it was a mistake. So this child of yours, it is of my DNA. I made sure that no DNA of Minato exists within him. And the reason that he has black hair actually is because I mixed Uzushiogakure technology with Hashirama cells and Madara's DNA to create him, making sure that he's a strong shinobi in the future that will lead Uzushiogakure, and make sure that Uzushiogakure takes place of Konoha, and Konoha is forever lost in the history books and forgotten pages of history. I see. As Arashi turned towards his people, "My people! My daughter and her friends have returned with my grandson." As everyone cheered for them, as Kakashi then said, "Wow, this is amazing. I told you." So the Uzumakis were... Yes. That is why Mito-sama always wanted you to visit this place. And you always told her that I should have, I guess. She said with a smile breaking on her face. As after that we see Naruto's life in his home, his mother's home, his home, Uzushiogakure was about to begin. As a few years passed, as Naruto reached at the age of 8, as now we go back towards Konoha while Naruto was training in Uzushiogakure. It has been 8 years since the great catastrophe has made Konoha so much weaker that even Eva and Kiri, who has just come out of a civil war and is rebuilding itself, are taunting them with a war. Just because they told them to get off of their, borders. As now we see Shikaku literally trying to pull his hair out. "What is it, Shikaku?" said Inoichi. "What do you mean, what is it?" "The previous Kages, our Jinchuriki, our forces, half of them, all of them are gone. And since the Uzumakis are dead, the Uzumaki seals that protected our walls, our village, are also now shut down. We are vulnerable as we are, and there is no theory or method, no matter how many times I apply, makes it seem that we are safe, even in war if it ever happens." "Why do you think there will be a war?" said Inoichi. "Are you dumb, Inoichi? Can't you see that even Eva and Kiri are taunting us now? Those two were scared of us at one point, and they are weaker than us, and they are the ones who are taunting us in this condition. What makes you think that we will be able to survive this, Inoichi?" "Because we have the Will of Fire." "Bullshit. I call that a big bullshit. Will of Fire can go suck ass. We will lose. Because of our numbers, because of the wills of shinobi that are fighting. A lot of shinobis have PTSDs and are taking retirements because of the QB attack and the great sufferings they have seen and lost. Our shinobi forces are down to the only 500 shinobis and Kunoichi groups, from even Anbu's all the way down to Genin's remaining. Fuck. We have lost huge number of clans as well," said Hiyashi as he arrived there. "There must be something we can do. This village, it is our home. What would have Minato done in this case?" "We don't know," said Fugaku, "but what we do know is that we need to choose a strong leader who will be able to guide us." "Whoa, what do you mean, strong leader?" said Joza. "Shikaku is good enough for us. I mean, he's a tactical genius who will be able to pull us out in every situations. I mean, he is working his head around that." "No. We are going to use brute force, because with the help of brute force we can take them all down. And this way, they won't even try to mess with us." As now we see, Hiyashi was interested in this, and so was Tazumi and some of the other clans, as the Inoshikacho trio was the only ones who didn't want to participate. Then Kanao's out. "We are not going to send our clans into this warring state, while we are still recovering from the shock. Pathetic. See, I told you don't have any guts. Hand me over the hat of the Kage. Let me lead the village, Shikaku. And do what you do best. Tactical genius." "Fine, here you go. Do what you wish, Fugaku." As Shikaku gave the hat to Fugaku, as now we see, under Fugaku's regime, a letter was sent to Maid Terumi, who was the newly instated Kage of the new Kirigakure. Konoha demanding a war with us, huh? Let them have it. And within a few weeks, the news spread out like wildfire. And within 1 week time, Konoha was defeated. The first ever defeat Konoha suffered in the previous 3 great shinobi wars. A minor war that occurred between a strongest nation supposedly at one time and the current weakest nation, and the weakest nation winning proved that Konoha is no longer worth the time of the other villages, and was the weakest of them all, and Kiri has taken the place of Suna, which was now at the 4th, while the other 3 were at the top, as Konoha was literally put to dust, and many of the shinobis were now cut down only up to 250 shinobis, the bare minimum number for a village to be recognized as an elemental nation now. As now we see Fugaku literally sitting there, pulling his hair out. How did this happen? See, I told you. The only numbers that we have now can be counted because we are a shinobi nation. We are in no position to send out any further shinobis or at battle, because if we do, we might die. Then I'm gonna put my sons into this. And our infant child, if we do that, then we might have 300 or 350 shinobis or so on. We can continue fighting them and prove them wrong. We have to. No, Fugaku, said Hiyashi. I lost my brother in this war, and my nephew. We're not gonna send any more people. We're only going to lose people. As Tazumi then said, I lost my ninken in this as well. I'm not gonna send any more people or pups into this war. This is bullshit. We are not strong as we were. So what? You are all weak-minded. You are agreeing with Shikaku and his ideologies, that we are grown weak. We have grown soft. We are not strong as we were. But that is the cold hard truth, is it not, Fugaku? Said Shikaku as he stood up. Ah, damn it! He said, slamming his fist into the wall. Damn it all! What would have Minato done in this case? He would have pulled us through. Wait, now that I think about it, Minato and the Uzumaki's jutsus, we can use them, right? Now that you say that, that is correct. But there is not a single jutsu under the files of Minato or Kushina left. All the Uzumaki's jutsus, in fact, even the forbidden scroll of sealing that was sealed inside the second Hokage's head is, well, lost in the battle. This can't be. The scrolls, some of them were placed even in the places where there was no signs of damages, or there must be a break-in then. Someone must have broken in and taken the scrolls while we were... Yes, they might have. We have to find out who. As a new case arrived, and now they were busy dealing with someone and admitted war and defeat for the time being placed in 5th from the 1st, and Kumo now being the 1st, 2nd being Iwa, and 3rd being Suna, and 4th being Kiri. And them, they were on the last one, the weakest of the nations ever. To the point even the non-shinobi villages were now picking on them, and they just had to endure it for the time being. As they were continuing with their investigation, a few years passed, and they could come up with nothing, and finally were able to discover Giraffe's rotting corpse, or what was left of it actually, which was a bare skeleton, which was rotting in his clothes. Turns out his neck was snapped, and now it was official. Someone must have done this. They wanted revenge on the Uzumaki Namikaze family, specifically. And not only on the family, the people attached to it. And that is why the 3rd Hokage and even Jiraiya died. They were worried, because they have lost a Sanin as well, meaning they lost the spy network outside as well now. And now we go towards Uzushiogakure, where 13 years later we see a 13-year-old Naruto Uzumaki growing trees with a snap of his finger in his underground Uzushiogakure. For the first time, they were breathing fresh air. It was a artificially created ground there under a bubble which was made artificially to create sunlight as well as nighttime, so that their corpses could be grown naturally from the ground that they created artificially. It was the ingenuity of the Uzumakis that have made sure that they survived and come this far. They did not share their secrets with the world for that reason, and they have been preparing for war because they wanted revenge on Kumo, Iwa, and Kiri for what they have done in the past. Because Konoha, they have heard of how pathetically they lost to the weakest of the nations, who have just survived a war within them, and a bigger one at that. As now we see Naruto, who has heard and now listened to every bit of his mother and Kakashi's words, as he was in deep thought. So this village Konoha, the pathetic village as we speak of now, you say I belong to them. No, you don't belong to them. We have erased your father's DNA from you as well, says Tsunade. Okay, Bachan. Then Why? Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me that I'm a son of a traitor who betrayed not only my people, but also you? You're not his son. You're my son. I have told you before, Naruto. His DNA is removed from within you. I don't know how to feel about this. All my life I claimed about morality and so on and spread such words to the people. No wonder they will think of me as a joke after finding out. Actually, they all know. Wait, what? As that is when Kushina Uzumaki, one of the Uzumakis that Naruto rescued with his fellows from Orochimaru's base, arrived there alongside with Kin. Oh, Naruto. You're here, said Kushina. Kushina, just tell him the truth that we were listening. What is it? What do you mean you were listening? And we listened to everything you were saying, you fuckface. And the truth is, we all know. Our parents told us because they don't keep secrets from them. And it is an Uzumaki rule, no secrets from the family. Remember? Yes. And what do they think of this? They love you, Naruto. They don't care about that bullshit. And plus, your mother used the Uzumaki seals and tactics to remove that bastard's blood from you. You're now an Uzumaki and a Senju. I guess you're right. But I feel horrible for what my father did. He's not your father. For the last time, Naruto, said Kakashi. Even though he was my sensei, even though I might not have any right to say this, but you don't have to feel bad for that bastard. No, Nisan. You're as much as an Uzumaki as all of us are. See? You have the natural instinct of a leadership, as that is when he was bonked on the head by a staff. As his grandpa arrived there. Oi, Oji-san, what the hell is wrong with you? What do you mean, you bastard? You left your old man alone with your clones in the training field. Have you no shame and respect for your elders? Jeez, Naruto, are you skipping training again? Well, you told me that you had something important to tell me, but after the training, and you told me that you finished the training early on, that bastard used the sexy jutsu on me again, Kushina, and after that he dashed here. Dad, when are you gonna listen? And that is when the old man, the current leader of the Uzushiogakure, was bonked on the head by a broom as his wife stood behind him. The old woman was pissed. Now listen here, honey. I can explain. You old pervert! And that is when the true horrors of the Uzumaki woman were truly revealed. As now we see, Naruto then said, I'm never getting married. And Karin looked quite sad when hearing this because she was blushing and was hoping to get closer to Naruto and making it official. As that is when we see Naruto noticing this, and Karin's friend then said, You fuckface, you're dead! That's it! And before she could do anything, we see that Karin stood in front of her. It's alright, you don't have to. As Naruto then grabbed her and said, Hey, can we talk in private? As all of them were looking at them with googly eyes, even his grandpa and grandma, who stopped, having their little fight. As after they left, and as Naruto was embarrassed by this, we see all of them went back to as they were doing, as now we go towards Karin and Naruto. What is it, Karin? I wanted to say this for a long time, Naruto. I get it. You want to be my best friend? As Naruto was literally punched by Karin to the point that she was pissed, as he was thrown and hit the dome that they built on top, their, basically sky, as they call it, as he fell down on the ground again. Ow! That hurts a lot, you know? It'll take some time to heal as well, as Karin began to heal Naruto's, a few broken bones as she said, Baka. As Naruto then said, Hey, but I'm your Baka, aren't I? He said, I was joking with you. I like you too. And that is when we see Karin, as she looked down at Naruto, who was laying on his lap, brought her face closer to him and kissed. As that is when we hear a branch snap and a clicking sound, as both of them turned red and looked to the other side to see that it was Naruto and his family, laughing pervertedly and backing away into the shadows. Oi, don't go there like that after seeing what you have seen. As Karin and Naruto were now both an embarrassing mess. Naruto was really enjoying his life, and also preparing to go on all-out battle with the world. As now we go towards Akatsuki, who were having a crisis of their own. Why is the Nine-Tails not recreating the Uzumaki woman? She did not betray us. She didn't even do anything. After releasing the Biju, I saw her leave with Tsunade. She didn't do anything. It was me and that fucking sensei of mine. He must have done something, said Obito. Whatever he did, it has costed us this mission, said Pain. This mission of yours, Madara, is nothing more than waste of time. If we truly want peace, I say that we work on what we have with our hands. And what would you say? Conquer the nations. Or if not that, then work on a smaller group. And after the other people see this, heard this, they might come under our banner. How about this? As everyone began to think, I think this is a good idea, said Kisame. I mean, think about it. People will consider us heroes. And they will love our art then as well. Obviously, because they would love to grow up like their people they love. How much money we could make selling off merch. That will be awesome, said Kisame. And what about you, Hidan? I can open a temple for Jashin-sama, and might as well get some sacrifices, which are animals. I mean, he can get used to them, I guess. Not human ones, but animals will too. And plus he will gain more followers, and I can officially become a priest. This will be awesome! Then it is decided. What do you think, Madara? That is a good idea. I mean, this is the only option we have left. Plus, this way we don't have to even use our forces or get ourselves in danger. Wait, but the plan, we can't abandon it. There is no other way, Zetsu. Why in the hell are you so hellbent on it? Because it's fucking my plan. I have to be the one who has to be made sure that it comes to fruition. Your plan. But didn't you say that it was Madara's? As Obito noticed something, that Zetsu was flinching now. Grab him. As instantly before he could leave, he was grabbed. As Pain appeared in front of him as his eyes glowed purple. And that is when they all knew what his true mission was. This fucker, he was going to destroy this world with the help of us, making us a fool and a villain to all of them. As after that he was, never seen, and only his screams were heard throughout the whole village. Truly a terrifying end. As this was going on, we see that Konoha has just been going down and down the drain. It has been reduced to a minor village now, and even the Fire Daimyo and Lord has just pulled out all of the fundings from the said village, abandoning it completely. They were completely lost, and Fugaku's and the Uchihas, people have lost trust in them as well. Because of them, they have lost the titleship of the fifth elemental nation, and that is when something interesting happened. They heard a news that Kiri, Eva, and Kumo were hit, and Eva and Kiri have been destroyed. Kumo has been reduced to a weaker village, just like them, but in the beginning of this whole mess, after the Kyuubi's attack. And after that, they were shocked. All of them were shocked in the elemental nations. Who could have done this to the big three? They were the strongest of the three nations, and they were reduced to nothing more than now rebels. And that is when a nation appeared, Amegakure, the village hidden in the rain, and it has become one of the strongest elemental nations, having increased in their shinobi forces, and not only them, becoming the most peaceful and well-deserving nation, making an alliance with Suna, first of all. And that is when Konoha tried to make an alliance with them, but it was outright refused by their leader, who turned out to be none other than Obito Uchiha, as he outright despised his clan. And not only that, turns out he was the grandson of Madara fucking Uchiha, and thus claimed the right to the Uchiha clan. And that is why he decided to take away all of his grandfather's work and his family's work, which was 90% of the jutsus. And after taking so, the Uchiha clans was left the most weakest amongst the clans. So obviously the leadership went from their hands to the Hyugas, who were able to establish somewhat sort of peace and leadership. But they were just too much of a control freaks. And that is how the civil war between the said pathetic village began. And that is when they saw a new village appearing and surfacing from the grounds. Since Kumo was having a hard time as well, it was reduced to the fourth nation, as Ame was the second one. Suna has surprisingly become the first one with the help of Amegakure. The third one was now rising. and the fourth one became the Snow Country with the help of their allies after being, again going through a war. And the third one was none other than Uzushiogakure, which appeared as Kumo, which was the fifth one, was now shocked. But what made everyone else and even Konoha shocked was three of the people that were standing with them: Kushina, Naruto, and Tsunade. As after many trials and errors, they were finally able to land a meeting with the new leader and his mother. And that is when they learned of the horrors and the truths of Konoha and what they have been doing. And that is when they were happy to disregard that badge and end it once and for all. As now we see, Konoha has been reduced to nothingness, and all of the forces that allied themselves to form the village have went on of their way to join other nations. Surprisingly, Hyugas, which were the most benevolent ones, even though they were control freaks, after learning their mistakes and the newer generations, with the help of them, they arrived back to Uzushiogakure, where they were allied and remained there, but with the condition that they will not be allowed to play seals and only will exist as the first and only clan allowed in the Uzushigakure's land. And the upper surface land, which was turned into rubble and nothingness, was given to the Uzushigakure's new first clan, the Outsider clan, and that was the Hyugas. Soon after that, a few years passed and the Hyugas established their base there, becoming a full-blown society like the Uzushiogakure that was in the surface of in the eyes of the surface and people, while the real one was down, and only the Kage, the seemingly Kage of the said Hyuga's village, could come there and meet them, which was Hinata Hyuga and her right-hand man, Neji Hyuga, her cousin, who was left to death by his uncle, but was able to crawl out that war and come to Hinata, who made sure that he was well hidden and was saved, thanks to the rebel in between the Hyuga clan, and they was able to take away control from Hiyashi and the others, and that is how the Hyuga clan became one. As for Naruto, he and Karin were happy, and Hinata, she was just too focused on getting the clan back together as one, and was happy that Uzushio was good enough to them to allow them to live here in their land. And as for Konoha, it was forgotten in the history books, as now we finally see Kushina standing alone in front of a grave that was seemingly almost erased, the grave of Minato no Mikaze. Even in the end, Minato, I can say wholeheartedly, no matter how smart you get, no matter how careful you get, you always make a mistake. And when you do, it is more than enough for your enemies to come at you with the help of that mistake. But unsuccessfully, unfortunately for you, it was your own beloved ones. You were right. Nobody can harm you more than your own loved ones. Goodbye, you fuckface. Hope you rot in hell. With these words, Kushina left and never turned back. As now we see that the world was finally at peace and was happy after Konoha was removed from it. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. Again, as in this story, it is quite different from the usual thing that I do. It follows mostly Kushina and her backstory, and Naruto's story is more or lessly involved. But still, I had to name the title "What If Naruto Revived the Uzushiogakure?" I can change the title. Yeah, I will probably do this. If the title is changed, this was the original story name. Yeah, I'm gonna probably change the title now. So yeah. Anyways, this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace!